The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored, and thank you for joining us tonight. We begin with a request that is truly disturbing. Everyone's been talking about it, said you need to cover it. From one of the world's most highly respected spiritual leaders, the Dalai Lama. Video shows him asking a child to kiss him on the lips and then to suck his tongue. The moment was caught on camera. According to officials, it happened at a public gathering back in February. We're choosing not to show that video. It's just disturbing. In a statement, the Dalai Lama says he apologized to the boy and his family. A post on his Twitter account explained he often, quote, teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way. But there's nothing playful about the incident. It's just disturbing. Pastor and journalist Dr. Ruth Olson and Todd Smith with Regal Media, CEO there. They're both joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. So I could not actually watch the video. Someone sent it to me. I saw the still, and they sent the actual video to me, and I said, I just can't go forward watching it. What happened here?
It's very difficult. And of course, none of us can know what happened, but it made my heart sink. Anytime a spiritual leader gets into any kind of trouble, we always have it's just terrible, because it's difficult enough as it is to deal with people, and yet spiritual leaders are fallible people who sin like everybody else. And it's very unfortunate. And so what I think is that everyone, especially spiritual leaders, all leaders need accountability. And when you get to the point where you're the only one and nobody's watching you or can call you on things, and then things happen. Yeah, we also might be dealing with a cultural issue. In my research on this, there's something about in the history of that religion and this particular sect. There's something about the tongue. Now, that doesn't make this appropriate, but there's something about the greeting. There's some lore about a black tongue and the significance of that. So it's deeper than it looks, but it's still inappropriate.
Now, some individuals wanted us to bring sexual assault experts on. I'm like, we're not ready for that just yet. I am thinking, is it possible he's just so damn old and he's lost contact with, many people would say senility, or reality? Is there a possibility that he's just so old he just doesn't realize how he's making a major foul in the public?
I'm not an expert on that, but I do have some current experience dealing with elderly parents, elderly aunts and uncles, who might say something and talk out of their head. But I believe that if it's not in your heart, it won't come out. You see what I'm saying? Like they say, a drunk person will tell the truth. If you're in a person to say something sexist or racist, it comes out when they're drunk. If it's not in you, it won't come out. And Dr. Ruth said there's something about that culture with the tongue, but if there's something evil or sinister that came out, if he had any kind of ill intentions with this young boy, it had to already have been in there, in my opinion. It doesn't come from nowhere, like Dr. Ruth said.
But it wasn't like in the dark.
It wasn't
private.
And people were laughing
before a full audience.
From what I read, I didn't watch the video as well because I couldn't watch it, but they said people laughed at it, like it wasn't a big deal. And we're all sinners, and all spiritual leaders are sinners just like everybody else. But if this was something sexual, some sins are just not on that same, in my opinion, like those, but you can't be a leader. You know what I mean? Now, if you cheat on your wife, you might have gambled, we understand that you need to, repent for that. But when you mess with kids, then all deals are broken. And the thing is, spiritual leaders are held to such a high standard because some people, their only representation of that religion are those leaders and those people who say they believe. So you always have to be on your best behavior. So while it's not fair that you represent a whole religion, some people who don't know about Christianity or Islam or Buddhism, they're getting their information by how you behave. And if you behave in a sinister way, that turns people away. And this country and the world is getting less religious, especially these younger people. And when you see stuff like this, I understand why.
And Dr. Ruth, you have your PhD in religion, you're a journalist also. Who is the Dalai Lama for those who may not understand? He's titled as Your Holiness, and you don't have many of them. I would almost equate it to like the Pope, but for a different religion.
In Buddhism, in that religion. And likewise, I've studied a number of religions, not very closely that one, but he is the spiritual leader of a sect of Buddhism.
And that's billions of people.
Leader of the Tibetan people.
In this world. And so to have him do something like this, would they be an outrage, or is this just a Western thing for us?
Well, like I said, there are a lot of ways in certain cultures that we don't get. I don't think even that culture goes that far. But for instance, in certain sections of Africa, you don't shake hands with your left hand. It's considered, grotesque to do that for a reason that you and I would not know about in our culture. And so in a lot of cultures, it's like that. But I want to say this about spiritual leaders, if I may, that a lot of stuff is made up, all right? A lot of stuff is made up, and people need real relationships, like marriages. Like if you're a man or a woman, you need to get a relationship with an accountable mate who can deal with natural, human, sexual issues, so that you're not playing around on the fringes and doing all kinds of things. And all this stuff about, being celibate and not marrying and all that, it's ridiculous. It goes it goes against what God set up. That's not in the Bible. That's not set up, and they don't follow the Bible. I'm just saying that as we're all human beings, and so there are natural inclinations on the parts of humans, and those need to be met. And there is a way.
The Catholic Church.
Well, there's a way. There's a way that God set up for that to meet, and I don't understand how humans can say, "Oh, you're divorced, therefore you can't get married," or "You're a priest, so therefore you can't get married." What?
Right.
What are you going to do with that?
Out of time. Good to see you both here on The Factor Uncensored.